that giggle and smirk and laugh about all this stuff. I told you the bankers were going to take everything you had because we had their own IMF World Bank documents. You know, this isn't a game. These guys aren't playing patty cake.
No.
The people running this New World Order killed 200+ million people last century, okay? So we don't stand up and fight these creatures, just for fun. We do this because we know that there's no other choice, and it is the best feeling and the most fulfilling thing in the world to just gut up, get past the fear, then you won't have it anymore. Once you go through fear, it's right. Gone. And it is animating, the animating contest of liberty. You aren't living. Bungee jumping, you're not going to find this exhilaration. Partying, having sex, doing drugs, getting drunk. None of that is going to fulfill you. Being rich, being powerful, nothing is going to fulfill you like helping others and knowing what's going on in the world and not being a sucker and a chump. And we just really want to salute you, Sheriff Richard Mack, and we'll talk to you in the near future.
Thanks a lot, Alex, and God bless you, and thanks again for having me on.
Thank you for joining us. Absolutely. I think about how they could set me up, imprison me, how evil the feds are, how evil most of the states are now, and I'm not even worried about it. I worry about my little sweet, dear, darling, angelic children, but, if something bad happens to them, that's the New World Order. That's not me. I put it in God's hands because they have no future and other children have no future if we don't stand up. If we give in to the fear, they win. If we fight, they lose. All you have to do is put yourself in motion. All you have to do is make the commitment to fight tyranny. In small ways, it will grow into great things. Victory is ours. Resistance is victory. Now, that said, we need your financial support here. And the ways we ask for financial support are buying the books and videos, making all the copies you want, getting PrisonPlanet.tv memberships, all of that, because people say, Alex, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to expand, you need to take action in all these ways. And a lot of times I'd say, what are you telling me to do more? But you know what? I'm taking the challenge. I am doing more. But if you ask me to do more, you have to support more. And the number one thing is telling your email list, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your community about AM and FM stations we're on in your area, shortwave, internet, satellite, the free podcast. That's how this show grows. Are you doing that? I mean, it's one thing to almost take action. It's another thing to take action. That's the biggest thing. I think the show's the most effective, the best guests, the best info. We bring all these great activists that have had success at the state level, federal level. He's one at the Supreme Court, held back a lot of gun grabbing. And it's all because you, the core listeners, have supported these other people we bring on here as a larger platform. But we need the platform itself to grow so that we can launch others. This literally, we're like a Cape Canaveral rocket base, and we are launching, ICBMs at the enemy. And we are trying to produce more info weapons and more powerful weapons to blow holes in the enemy. And we are going straight into the enemy. We are committed. We are focused. Now, I bring Ted Anderson up a couple times a week now because gold was $280 an ounce when I first started plugging it. Now it's gone up, to $930, $940, $950 today. I haven't looked in the last few minutes. It was up at $940 something, $930 something, and rising. And Ted doesn't really even make money doing this. He buys the gold and silver when it's low, and then he sells it when it's low, and he sells it when it's high. And he is at the very tail end of a purchase he made 3 weeks ago when gold was at $830. And Ted is the owner of this Genesis Network. By the way, Ted, I've been so busy I keep forgetting. Have you gotten my new Star Guide feed yet? Because Ted,
I'm working on that right now. We just sent the equipment up to ABC so we can get that going.
Yeah, leasing that feed.
Yeah. It takes. We've got a T1 connection there, but we have to break it up with an ADTRAN modem type unit that can do that, and then we put the codecs up there in order to transcode and get your voice back over.
Well, I mean, that's an example of what I'm saying. I'm on one ABC feed, but we're going to go this radio show 24 hours a day, except for Jason Burmis, on our own system with Ted, and it's Ted stepping up to pay the $5,000 a month. And the feds, a side issue, I want to bring this up now, Ted, and we'll hold you over the next segment. The feds put out this line, we know they're feds, that we're owned by ABC and owned by the Saudi Arabians, and that, this is the kind of lies they do, and that we're on ABC. Yes, You go out and you lease a Clear Channel, an ABC receiver, or a Jones receiver. Those are the three, and radio station owners are laughing, and so are managers. They know that's the piece of equipment. Like you contract for an ISDN line, you get it from AT&T. We're not owned by AT&T, but that shows how the feds operate. Right there, going, oh look, they're owned by ABC. No, any of you can call ABC and lease your own feed. And the reason we go with ABC is they don't restrict the feed. You can lease one from Clear Channel, but they won't let the stations have the encoders to get you off unless you're a Clear Channel show. And it's just so sick how I think of the fact we're trying to get another satellite for the stations out there to deliver my show 24 hours a day so they can air it more. And then the enemy gets upset by that and lies to people and says that we're ABC. Can you explain that to folks, Ted?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's simple as this. I mean, it's the delivery mechanism that's used by all the radio shows out there in the marketplace. You're right about that. I did lease from Clear Channel for a little while, and unless if you're a premier group radio show like Sean Hannity or Rush Limbaugh or some of these others that they produce, they won't open up their receivers.
And they didn't tell you that when they leased it to you.
Oh, no. I mean, I had to get out of a 5-year contract, and I had to buy my way out of it. It was crazy. ABC just happens to open it up. Anybody that's picking up Paul Harvey or ABC News has a receiver that can pick up the Alex Jones show. And if you want to syndicate in the marketplace, if you want to make any kind of a dent in the terrestrial market, meaning licensed AM and FM stations out there, you have to have an ABC Starguide 3 feed, which is now developing into this new XDS receiver.
Well, my whole point is this: we're doing a talk radio show, and I have a Neumann mic, German. I'm not owned by the Neumann Corporation. I have a Toshiba TV in front of me as a monitor. I'm not owned by Toshiba. And I'm just saying, listeners, this is what the feds do, and it makes me angry, not that they're putting the lies out, but that people are so gullible. Like there's a porno magazine called Genesis. They claim we're owned by the porno magazine when there's hundreds of companies called Genesis. Another writer put out a lie because there was some Genesis thing with some Saudi Arabian, I think you ought to post on the site your charter, your corporate charter, that it's a Ted Anderson company. I'm tired of the feds running black ops and people believing it, Ted.
Yeah, and there's a lot of funny information.
I think you ought to just sue one of those people just to teach people a lesson.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, I know you sue people. You need to go ahead and just sue them. Because I'm tired of them getting, we need to get aggressive and start hammering people and call them in court and go, now listen, you bastard liar. You tell the judge what's going on.
SouthSummit.com is the place for top name brand knives such as Kershaw, Spyderco, Cold Steel, Gerber, K-Bar, Boker, Leatherman, and more. South Summit has one of the largest selections of self-defense products on the web. Knives, stun guns, police batons, pepper spray, LED flashlights, emergency kits, binoculars, and tactical gear are just some of the great products found on SouthSummit.com. Receive discounted prices on camping and preparedness products from Camelback, Kelty, and Eureka. Check out our water storage barrels, water purification systems, and Mountain House freeze-dried foods that have a 30-year shelf life. Keep an eye on your family and keep them safe with our do-it-yourself spy camera systems. Mention that you heard this ad on the radio and you'll receive a free LED flashlight with your order. Visit SouthSummit.com. That's South Summit, SUMMIT, SouthSummit.com. Or call toll-free 1-800-234-8654. That's 1-800-234-8654.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden.
This is his M.O.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at Infowars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
It's a new year full of uncertainties. People are being laid off in record numbers. The price of food continues to rise, and the economy continues to falter. you know that you need to prepare. And maybe you've been putting it off, but the time to act is now. That's why you need to visit organicaseed.com. At organicaseed.com, you'll find one of the largest online selections of heirloom seeds and survival seed packs, as well as the giant vegetable seed collections that can feed you and your family for years. Imagine growing your very own fresh vegetables, wheatgrass, fruits, herbs, rice, tea, coffee, and tobacco. With detailed growing guides available to you at no charge, you can maximize your harvest and investment. And the best part? All orders ship within 24 hours. So head over to organicaseed.com. That's ORGANICA seed.com. Organicaseed.com today.
They came and took it all away, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Ted, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. I just got into radio stuff with you here on air. We've been so busy, I hadn't talked to you about that. Jason Bermas' show starts 9 to midnight Central, March 1st, a couple Thursdays from now. And I just know what a good